back, take another look.
So 23 of Milko Duno has lost it, and you know something? 6 of Ryan Briscoe is just collected as her car starts to move up the racetrack. And unfortunately for Ryan Briscoe, his day is done. When we come down to it now, there again, we talk about the traffic up. He's spun in front of him. TK is just collected, much as we saw before with Milko Duno collecting the
Ray from up above. He was in the 6th position. There he is as he comes out.
Yep, just gassing the pedal, trying to get a run going down the straightaway, and just spins those rear tires. Remember, they've been going around very slow, not very much heat in the back tires right now. As
Carpenter. There he is. Whoops.
Yep, remember, when it's wet like this, all the water that's on the track is just making it worse, and especially...
Take a look, turn 14 area.
Just on the outside with Will Power.
Got some help from Will.
Oh, and Will just misses the wall on the outside. Some great driving by both drivers.
From Oriel Servia's on board. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, both of them just wanting to get the run going down the main straight. A great opportunity on starts.
So let's take another look.
Now, a lot of times what ends up happening, if you clip the inside wall with your right side, you end up shooting yourself off into the left-hand side. Now, Ryan, let's ride along with him and let's watch. Coming up to turn 9. Yep, just clips the inside wall and coming on the inside. Not enough room, nope. That's just a little bit overzealous, I think, of trying to get in there to make that move on that situation.
And then here comes Townsend Bell right across the front.
Yeah, Townsend will see the flying yellow flags when he comes through the turn, so he should have known that there was some cars on the racetrack or debris on the racetrack. As we start to watch the replay here, and you can see Marco Andretti is already on the top of your screen. The back end starting to go around on him means the car is loose. He was by himself, does not look like he was touched, and the cars in front were quite a ways away from him, so we can't really put that down to some disturbed air. Now we can see that the car just starts to come around on him. The front hits the wall, and there definitely is too much damage there for that car to continue just on its own without some repair.
On board with Danica, and there you see Marco twitches. Boy, this is so similar to what happened to Koski Matsura last year.
Well, this is actually some action that's going on during...
Wow.
Oh, there you go. That is actually after they come in through the stop, and they're about ready to leave. And then you pass the timeline, which they did. And you know what ends up happening is that when you have your foot on the gas as a rookie, sometimes you got your foot too far down on the gas and trying to make sure you get a good jump as soon as your speed limiter control comes off, which is right now. And when you do that...
Striped tires in a moment. Oh, man, was that hard.
Yeah, he was not about ready to make it. He just caught the tire barrier there to stop you from hitting the wall with the right-hand side of his car. Here he goes right now. Just a little bit too much speed, or he got caught on the outside. Either way, he did not have the preferred. Well, as they're coming down towards turn 9 after that long back straightaway, what he's trying to do is take advantage of the traffic car that they're starting to go around, the 14 of Roberto Marino. Now he's on the outside, and he thinks maybe if I can make it away around here, I'll be on the inside for the next turn and get the run down the straightaway, but that did not happen. Here we go again. Now this is turn 10 around the outside. That left rear Graham Rahal just gets touched. And boy, he is so fortunate not to get taken out by the other cars. Boy, and this is a tight line, Marty. Up over the curbing, and he actually starts just to rub the wheels together. And here you go, you're fighting, the adrenaline's going, you're not going to give up, and now you're going, man.
And he has dropped back to 15th position.
As you come down to the turn, it looks, remember we talked about those bumps that you get on all the time. He wasn't going to make the move on the inside going through into turn 9. And what ends up happening, the back end starts to come around on him. Watch the bump. Bang. Car starts to lose grip. He goes around. The back end comes around on him. He puts himself in the tire barrier, unfortunately.
That we had. Watch the back.
Oh, in the very back there. The back end just comes around on him. The left front wheel, he's going to have suspension damage when it hits the barrier itself. Did damage the wing and the nose. Now, Enrique qualified 20. So you can start to see he was on the low side of the racetrack. We don't have it early enough for you, but he had already started to lose control. So there is a hinge point down there on the white line by the banking, and he certainly could have caught that with the left-hand wheels if... there we go. Oh, you know what? Just coming up behind Darren Manning just a bit too fast because Darren Manning had a reported problem. So you see the cars in the back. EJ Vizzo is on the bottom side, gets up. It looks like Thomas Scheckter touch. The right rear of Vizzo ends up hitting the front suspension of Thomas Schechter's machine and breaks the suspension of Thomas's car by the looks of it. Now that looks like they were both just going for the same piece of real estate. Now let's watch again. Thomas and the 12 machine going by on the high side. Both of them not leaving enough room for each other. Looks like EJ just starting to work the car up the racetrack a little bit more than possibly he could have done. He need to hold it down on the bottom side. But when you're starting to get past like that, Marty, the thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to take your foot off the gas. Now let's watch as we're riding along from Vitor Meira's car, and you can see the 33 of EJ Vizzo just go up the road.
Lead lap as we take another look at the incident, and oh man, did Buddy have hard contact.
Man, he just went along for a ride, guys. Something broke on the car. Buddy was in the perfect place on the racetrack. Everything.
Take a look. Okay, here's Sarah. Let's take a look and see what happened.
She's trying to warm up her tires. And she might need a little bit more practice with that.
Yeah, but you know something? She's doing it in the turn, Eddie. She's weaving back and forth in the turn when you just wait until you get in the short chute here, and then you start to do the weaving.
Jamie, let's get an update on Sarah.
Well, Mark, to make sure you finish the race and understand what happens to a race car over time. Now, you know, he was on line on the entrance to the turn, and then seemed like he got off of line about mid-turn and just started going high into the gray because the car in the middle was slowing down to enter into the pits.
Yeah, the car in front of him slowed down way early. Normally, you can go all the way around then you peel off. I mean, I can't really blame him for that.
Well, and that's also Light's car, and you can see that, as you mentioned, Eddie, he's well off of line and off to hitting the outside retaining wall. Now, we're not sure if that's because he was trying to miss somebody on the lower line or if something happened to the car, but we'll have to have a chance to look at another replay. There again, you can see he's just off of line, and you see Buddy Lazier going into the pit lane there. I think this is the same situation that we had previously with Graham Rahal and Alex Lloyd.
Did you see the piece of debris that Castro Neves went over? The last piece.
I think you're right, Scott. I think it's the exact same scenario. And you guys, we see it in slow motion. Here it is in real time from Marco Andretti. Try and explain what the closing rate.
Well, you're going so fast, you know, at 200 miles an hour. You see what resulted is the car looks like it gets to the middle of the turn and just starts to go off towards the outside wall. Get another look at it here.
Went in too high.
And there again, up into the gray, into what we call the marbles, little pieces of rubber that are worn off the tires just to aid. And Tony Kanaan, who you can see is already high up into the gray, up into the marbles, being forced up there. He will start to spin around. Sarah's running the normal line and then turns around, collects her. Now, Sarah should have seen that he was up there, maybe did not anticipate him coming down and having the back end spin out like that.
Something, we saw that too late. We need to have the camera go forward because something happened earlier that pushed him up high.
Okay, here we go. All the traffic, because here we come with Dixon, and he was turning around making a move.
So
and
Dixon
then because of that, here comes Marco. Marco makes a move very late going into 3 and leaves no room for Tony. And Tony, see how he's turning the wheel right now? He's in the marbles, Eddie. He's gone.
So much for teamwork.
Now, Eddie might have been all right if he didn't get hit by Sarah Fisher. The car might have just spun out.
There was nowhere for him to go. There wasn't a line for him to come back down. And if you listen to his radio, he said, why did he have to do that? There's no place for him to go. He's already into the gray area. If you pass somebody that late, there is no place for the car that you've passed to come back in.
We have on replay. And
just one of those ones where the car might be a little bit light on the back end and maybe just enough the turbulent air from the cars in front just to sort of walk the thing around. You know how, Eddie, you're sort of on the very edge there and you come off the turn and it just feels scary.
All right, take another look as, he had brushed the wall coming out and then comes across the track and tags the inside wall on pit lane. Took out the speed limit. That'll make everybody happy as far as coming into pit lane.
Wow, he's lucky he didn't take anybody else out in the process when he hit the wall off of 4. We've seen this numerous times today. Up into the gray, lost control of the car, impact with the wall, and then back across in
8th. Caution, take another look.
Very much on the inside. Buddy Lazier's on the high side, then the 91 car with the LifeLock machine goes towards the center of the turn, and let's see if Buddy keeps it off the wall, collects it. A great job by the veteran. Milka, unfortunately, has the tight line and ends up doing a nice 360.
It's the first person we've seen today pull off a pass on the high side, but she's lucky she didn't hit anything, and Buddy's lucky that she didn't bump into him and knock him into the wall.
Now this is where she should have released the brakes right there and let the car go.
Here, got snapped. Now here it is.
Just comes over. That left rear suspension has been broken.
Doesn't look good, guys. The car's not balanced right. The right front bench or something. Try and start it.
That might not be that bad. It might be driving.
Oh, you just heard her on the radio.
No,
If you can drive it like that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I give you credit. You're more of a hero than I thought you were. That spotter's position, also watching the 06, the McDonald's car of Graham Rahal right now on the high side, Marty. That's not going to work, especially when Darren Manning has nowhere to go to try to get around Buddy Rice in the 15 machine. And the odd man out on that is Rahal.
Yeah, and Manning and Rice were both lap vehicles, and he was
To the corner, Marco on the low side, just drifts up just a little bit, catches Ed Carpenter. When it gets late in the race, you're going for position, and poor Vitor Meira always seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that is some luck for both drivers, and nobody was seriously hurt.
Yeah, look at this view. Look at Vitor come up and over Marco.
And then they just go parallel park on the wall beside each other. Never seen anything like it. Here we go again. Real time. And the smoke that was in front of Vitor Meira, didn't know where he was going, just started to slow down.
That was out the back of Ed Carpenter's car.
There's Marco on the underneath. Both go up and touch. And there you see, just going up and over again was Vitor. This is just after the restart. Running in the high line right now. Oh, yes, it does. If Vince Welch was mentioning that they ended up having a little bit more front wing into that car, then the car would be very neutral to loose, and it looks like the back end just got around from him as he started to go through on the high side. As you ride aboard right now with Thomas Scheckter, watch up front. The back end just steps out a little bit, wiggles. Thomas Scheckter gets it slowed down quick enough, and wow, John Andretti got through.
Happened to him. There he is. Right. Oh, contact with Scheckter.
And I'm going to say that Thomas Schecter's day is probably done also, because his left front would have a lot of damage. Now, on a restart, as soon as it goes green, you can pass it any time.
Scheckter had no room.
Scheckter was in the right. As everybody's starting to move around, you see Andretti just starting to want to protect his position just a little bit, and then Ryan Hunter-Reay gets those left set of wheels down on the white line, the hinge point between the flat and the banking, and then the car just starts to walk itself up and drives himself into Marco, and then both of them go off towards the wall. Just that little bit of a flick on that back end of the car. Remember, we're at 210 to plus 15 miles an hour average speed around here. These guys are not that quick enough to be able to catch it when it does something like that.
We said at the very top of our broadcast how fast things can happen here. It can be dangerous at these speeds. And Marco, in this case, could do nothing, as Ryan just got loose. Now let's look forward from Ryan Hunter-Reay's car. We'll just sit out and let you listen. It doesn't sound like we have the audio there.
See, as we came out of turn 2, Marco starts to try and protect his position, starts to move down towards the lower side, going into turn 3, does not leave very much room for Ryan Hunter-Reay whatsoever. Now here we go, let's watch again.
Wow. That's the view from Scott. All right, let's take a look. Looks like Mirage was trying to get into pit lane.
Oh, you're trying to come in. You're always trying to come in as fast as possible. The in-lap and outlet during your pit stops is very crucial for making sure you don't lose time on the racetrack. And in this situation here, just carrying a bit too much speed.
Look.
Just on the very low side, almost could all the way down to that yellow line. Makes you wonder if maybe he just caught the edge of the flat part of the racetrack to where the banking is, upset the balance of the car, and just brought the back. It's a little askew.
And you can see he's up in the grave.
Yep. just tries to keep it down, but once you get up the car in line, going into the turn, and the car just starts to come out as he's entering into the turn. Now, the interesting thing is those two cars that are in front, Marty, he's right behind them. Does he get too much turbulent air off of those, and it just takes the air off the rear wing? We won't know until we get a report from down below. But as a driver, you are always cautious about where you're placing your race car. See, he's already lost it on the entrance to the turn. So, you know, you might think about as soon as you turn the steering wheel and the back end wants to come around, it's almost like something also could have broken on the back of that car. Here we go. Let's watch the report from Danica Patrick's car. Very tough when you're Danica Patrick.
This is a carbon copy of last year.
Absolutely. You come coming out of the turn, putting your foot on the gas. No traction control on these cars, so it's all up to the driver. So you see the low side right there, just trying to squeeze the throttle. He wants to get a good run down towards turn one and take advantage of maybe getting past a couple of cars. Remember, just off the restart, the low side. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Looked like the car just started to snap out on him. I don't think he was really happy with the car because you can see how much he got.
Look. Oh, contact with John Andretti is what happened to the 2 car.
Yeah, a little aggressive on A.J. Foyt the fourth.
And I saw the 20 car. It looked like he hit debris. Take a look on board with the 2.
So he just ends up getting on the left rear. That's high to make that high line work. Just probably coming down and encroaching a little bit and ended up getting into the wheel of John Andretti's car, as you can see from the front as he's right along with Danica right now.
Take a look, see if we can see what happened to the 20 car. Watch for the bright yellow.
Oh, there we go. A big piece of debris
right
coming off, which is the rear attenuator from the back of A.J. Foyt. Everybody's on the backstretch, getting into the turn. Oh, there you go, right there. There's the accordion effect. Somebody accelerating, somebody slowing down, which is absolutely not possible to do on a start. As soon as somebody starts to slow down going into the turn, that usually is like a situation from somebody up front accelerating and slowing down, accelerating, slowing down. When you come to a restart, you absolutely have to be on pace with what the leader does. And this is probably just an accordion effect for somebody up front that did something and somebody had to slow it back up. And see, we're onto the front stretch here, and it's already just started to happen.
Well, that was Buddy's incident, and then the rest of it happens a little bit further back when they start checking up. From the flag stand this time.
Well,
watch further back.
You've got 2 incidents.
Yeah.
Buddy's doing his own thing in the front, and that accident in the back is happening separately. Into the turn. Now you can see John Andretti getting underneath Vitor Meira. Vitor looks like he was slowing up. John Andretti carried too much speed into the turn, ended up catching into the back of the 4 Delphi Machine National Guard car. Knowledge, you don't have that base to go back on. Now that's a single car situation, just possibly carrying some too much speed going into the turn or back into the car is just a little bit loose. You can see here from looking forward from Hideki Muto's car, the back end just starts to come around on the car. So unfortunately, getting a chance to qualify. Now the 19, Marias is on the bottom side. They both are looking for the same piece of real estate, much like we saw earlier on with AG. So you see now, we'll watch coming out of turns 3 and 4. The back end just gets loose from him. And that seems to be about identical type of crash his teammate did in practice yesterday. The car just got...
Look, Vizo underneath.
Yeah. He knew he was there. Vizo gets on the gas. Vitor had left him space, had left him room, a very gentlemanly type driving. Now watch on Vitor's car. He's going to get a bit of a draft. EJ Vizo's looking. They come in the braking zone. And he can sense that he's there. He leaves some room, and EJ Vizo just goes towards the outside of the curbing and takes a normal line as if there was not a car on the outside. And just
in the back of the field.
Everybody's trying to get close to each other, getting ready for the restart. And as you can see, it looked like Milko got to being accelerating, and she was going to hit the car in front, so she locked up her brakes, tried to avoid the car in front, maneuvered to the right.
Leader.
Yeah, he did spin.
He did spin.
And then, is that uncharacteristic for a champion and a driver the caliber of Scott Dixon?
All right, let's go on board with Scott Dixon. Listen in. Just
getting back on the gas. You know, it's strange because he wasn't coming up to the start. It's almost like he thought that he was about ready to go for a restart. He was too far behind Manning.
He just steps out on him from Ryan Hunter-Reay's perspective. Boy, and he almost clipped. Take another look, see what happened to Jamie Kamara.
Just loses it.
The
On
same
the entrance to the turn.
Take a look at this. Oh, wow, did that thing
Marco Andretti, the back end just steps out. He does a great job catching it, but then it just walks up the racetrack. Watch this on the low side. The car's just bottoming out. Not sure if it hit so much. It took the rear wheels off the ground just for a moment, but certainly the car just stepped out from underneath. And remember, all these cars are just slicing underneath, and you get those decisions at 180 or 200 miles an hour, Marty.
Well, and we mentioned, as you see it again, how wet that infield grass is. I mean, once you hit that, you're just skating along. Look at this. Whoa!
The other thing I noticed when those two cars impacted the safer barrier, you could see the safer barrier start to move just a little bit. And although you never want to meet with the wall, it's amazing how we classified those as soft walls, how much they certainly do move.
Looked like Enrique Bernoldi might have gotten some debris. Let's go on board with Vitor Meira.
You hear Meira get back on the gas as soon as he sees everybody moving up top. You get back on the gas to pass the accident. We're on board right now with Darren Manning.
I think we all laughed on that.
Replay here. It's the car that's on the back side of Will Power, just on the high side. His right side wheels outside of the groove, up onto the gray area. You see he's already there. Couldn't get the pass done. Trying to carry momentum through the turn so he can pass Will Power going down the straightaway. The timing was off just a little bit. Just coming down, and this is a situation where you almost have to release and get out of it because you're not going to be able to make the pass. Now, Will Power, I think, wasn't having a great day also because he was off the gas and off of speed quite a fair amount. Ryan tries to get back on the throttle, but he knows he's lost the front end.
Full course caution. Take another look.
This is on the replay now, trying to carry the speed down the inside. Two cars going towards the center on the apex. Probably a bit of an overzealous move right now, I think, as you ride on board the ethanol machine with Ryan Hunter-Reay. And around it goes. Coming down the long straightaway, and the back end is already, the rear wing rather, has already failed, and the back end's already starting to come around. Remember, you're 170 miles an hour in sixth gear, coming down to a hard braking zone to enter into turn 4 there, and very lucky in that situation that he did not end up going.
Go on board with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Exactly. Now watch ahead. Watch the rear wing of the car in front of you. The mount or what have you will break. It will lay down. There it goes. When the wing breaks down like that, you've lost a lot of downforce. You can see the back end loses adhesion.
This is right going into turn 12.
Very difficult. There's a area here where the car wants to get unbalanced. As soon as you go over that brow, the car starts to get light. You have to balance the car with the throttle. Just being off just a little bit there was enough to cause him to go around. Now he had that group in front of him. Through turns 11 coming into 12, this is the same area that Marco Andretti had difficulty with. And if you let the back end get around on.
Let's go back and take another look. Just keep an eye on the carousel here. Oh, Justin spun it.
Yeah, Justin just trying to make his way around the cars that he's not really racing against. He took the high line, as I mentioned, as we watch out the back of Danica's car right now. The right rear just is going to make contact with the left front. Mario Dominguez, and the car goes around. Now he's just trying to keep the wheels lit up to try to get it 360 degrees. Now Marco is an innocent bystander on this. Watch this all unfold in front of you. It's like a traffic jam on the freeway, nowhere to go.
Broke.
At the end of the straightaway, I'm not sure if anything broke to get him off the racetrack, but he just seemed like he was going in there just a little high. He knew somebody was coming on the inside of him going down towards the end of the straightaway and gave them just a little bit of room. And the end result probably got the car just a little high. The back end's just a little loose. The back end comes around on him, sticks you through that gravel pit.
Let's take a look first at how Townsend Bell got into trouble here.
The back end just starts to come around. Yeah, he did a great job by releasing his foot off the brakes as the car down to in a racing condition. Now the back end's already gone around on him for whatever reason.
Oh yeah.
And luckily, Those tires are there, which softens the blow, but certainly made those corner workers. You see on the side of that car is a jean that you'll often see Townsend Bell wearing. He almost got away with it, but ended up just catching it and turning it into the tire barrier. And then William Rast a little bit, and you can turn around and lose the car quickly here.
Going to the inside of Ed Carpenter.
Wow. Oh, there's Dan Weldon sneaking on the inside, trying to take advantage of a traffic situation. Bumps into Ed Carpenter in the Menards.
I mean, I was on my own there. I mean, all you see is that, I mean, look, Viso's so deep, it's not even funny. And, I mean, the league needs to figure out how to calm a couple of these guys down. Viso, Moraes, I mean, they're out of control. They don't belong here right now.
Also, she can get out of the car.
This is the one and only look our guys tell us we have, and she's already into the wall there.
And that is the exit of turn 2 that we're looking at, looking down. Perfect at the top, otherwise you end up going off at the bottom. And that happened to A.J. Foyt the fourth. Now, in this situation with Marty, he was just getting on the gas in the back end of the car and get out of that turn as easily as possible. You see Ryan's already off the road a little bit. We'll have a little bit of dirt on those tires, and he's going to end up running a tight line there. And that's going to be hard for him. He's now going to try and defend himself. No, and he gets a little bit of assistance by the 0-2 McDonald's car of Justin Wilson.
Reminiscent of last night a little bit after the race from Marco's on board.
Yeah, doesn't take much.
Yeah, looks like Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards at the end of the NASCAR race.
Well, this is the turn where you enter in very quickly, and there she goes for the same piece of real estate as Bruno Junqueira. And she gets the worst of it as her car is on the outside. And something that's been happening here for a while because Weldon's been looking and thinking about it. But this, he was just not close enough and tries to get on the inside, hoping that Jamie Camaro sees him coming and gives him room. But Jamie's in the correct position there. He's going towards the inside, mark on the side of his car. But it looks like he's offline going into the turn. I'm not so certain that maybe something's not wrong with he's just running by himself right now, and the car looks like it's okay. And then you can see something coming out the back, and that's just the sparks, the flames, possibly an oil line or something like that coming loose when he goes and hits the wall. But he had a suspension breakage or something of that nature. You saw the sparks come out from the back and then send him directly into the wall. Let's ride along with him right now. There's the sparks. The car is now dragging on the ground. He's now a passenger, has no control of the car, and then he goes off and hits the wall as we saw before, and this is the result.
So, are you saying right front?
I'm not sure, but regardless, it's something that's actually, you know, you're a passenger, as I mentioned before, and anytime that happens, you really have no control of the car. In the pit lane, and you can see the cars coming out on the top side of your screen, and he is just getting pushed out towards the outside, and I'm not sure which car that is. It looks like it possibly could be, I'm not even going to guess at this point in time because it's too far away, but in that scenario, I can see why.
EJ.
33 car on the bottom of the screen. Everything looks to be pretty good right now. The back end just starts to come around. You can see the tire looks like it deflated and came off the rim. And that was the reason why the car then take the opportunity to just go straight. They don't want to have contact like we saw right there with the two cars moving around. And Mario Moraes, again, just an amazing job to have that car around in the 360 and continue on.
Someplace around 20 laps, there is a replay of Moraes, and he has severely damaged the rear suspension of that car.
Well, he had already hit the wall because the rear suspension was already off the back of the car there on that left rear, as you can see it. So that means he hit the wall previous to when we go down through the gears, top gear down the second, turns in, watch that left front wheel just grazed the wall enough to break the wheel and take the tire pressure down. Here we go again. Bang, just enough. You see the wheels flying apart there. He has no steering, and into the wall he goes. Now, he did go off the escape road at the end of the straightaway down there in turn 8 because I think he knows his day is done.
Wow. How about that? Willpower.
Tight for everybody to get through.
And Graham Rahal and A.J. Foyt the fourth.
That's a Vision Racing team meeting going along there with Graham Rahal.
Wow. So 3 cars involved.
Look how narrow that is to get through there.
Just missed.
Mira did a nice job. Reminds me of back in Detroit street race many years ago when the safety vehicles are out. We got caution to pack that whole field back up again. Up over the curbing with the right side of the car, upsetting the balance of it. And the back end then comes around because you turn the wheel to miss the wall once you've miscued.